I mean, Hop, so we're back on live right now?
We're live.
All
We're
right.
live.
I'm trying to keep an eye on the Knicks game here, obviously, but I'm caught up in this draft stuff. This is wild. The Jets are on the clock here, so looking forward to it. I actually love the Penix pick from the Falcons there because that's how you do it. They're not thinking just this year, oh, we brought in Kirk Cousins, let's get a defensive player. If you feel, and clearly they did, that Michael Penix is the most talented player that's available there and can help you in the future, do it. Think about the value. What's going on? You all right there, Hoff?
We're behind, but my kid is yelling and screaming, so something just happened that's going to
the Jets traded out. Minnesota's on the clock.
What?
Number 5, they did not want to go that high.
Oh, wait, what just happened? The Jets trade with Minnesota?
Yeah. The Jets traded back one pick. Minnesota's on the clock at 10. Is this to get J.J. McCarthy, you would assume?
Well,
yeah, who's yelling in the background? What the hell's going on over there?
My kid JD's yelling and screaming like a maniac. I should
All right, so we're going to hang here. It looks like I didn't have the sound on, but now I see it that the Vikings are on the clock. They got 5 minutes to go. Jets now move down to 11. I would assume Minnesota is going to take J.J. McCarthy. So the Jets did a great thing because they traded down, got whatever they get for them. We got to figure out the details on that.
It's so weird, though. Minnesota's picking the next pick anyway.
Right, but the Jets could have then theoretically traded out to a team that wanted to leapfrog them and get McCarthy. Back to the Penix pick real quick because that started the dominoes here to where teams that needed a quarterback probably panicked. You know, first of all, Baldinger said it a couple of weeks ago that Atlanta was going to get a quarterback. So he was on it. The Falcons need a quarterback. Much like the Jets, that just shows you how stupid the Jets are and how smart other teams can be. Just because you have a quarterback for now doesn't mean you can't use one moving forward. The Jets will eventually need a quarterback sooner than later, just like Atlanta will with Kirk Cousins. He's not the franchise quarterback. He'll be a decent quarterback for a year or two. That's it. So you draft a quarterback when you're that high in the draft. You get a talent in there, and you have him sit and learn for a year or two. That's the right way to do it. Whether it will work out, who knows? But you heard BT talk about it today, Hoff, as far as Boomer loving Penix. The talent's not the issue. It's the injury history with Penix. So you're getting a great talent there. People talk about late first round, maybe a second round pick. They get him at 11, at number 8, so people think it's a reach. The reality is it's not. For his talent, if it weren't for the injury histories, he could be the top player in this draft, some people were saying. So I absolutely love that pick. Whether it works out, who knows? But I love that pick from Atlanta because you're not forcing the issue just to draft a position of need like defense. You're not taking another effing wide receiver early like they've done, which I hate, whether it's Drake London, I hate that pick, or Kyle Pitts. You're taking great potential and great value with Penix while you still have a quarterback in place in Kirk Cousins. You're not throwing him to the wolves and saying, hey, go be our franchise quarterback and savior. You have Kirk Cousins. Penix could get acclimated, learn from Kirk Cousins for the next year or two, then you transition. That's the right way to do it, just like Kansas City did with Patrick Mahomes. That is the right recipe. Now, as for the Jets, they trade back, which means they felt like they could get their guy, obviously, a pick later. You know, I was thinking maybe they trade back further, but they trade back to 11. We all know what they're going to do. I want them to take offensive line. I would love to see that. I would be surprised at this point if the Jets took the offensive lineman. The next best offensive lineman, I guess the kid from Penn State, would be the next best guy. I couldn't even try to say his name. But I think they're going to take Brock Bowers here. And I like that they trade back to do it. I still don't love the pick. 2 reasons. I wouldn't take a tight end if I'm them. I'd still take a lineman. Number 2, I don't think Bowers is going to be as good as everybody says. Man. Wild that the draft got crazy just with that 8th pick there with Atlanta. And now you start to see stuff happen here as we await the Vikings pick is in. The Jets going to be on the clock. Knicks and Sixers right now tied in the 3rd quarter. I really got to focus my attention on that, Hoff. You want to take over here while I watch the Knicks game?
Yeah, go for it. And by the way, also on the side note, the Islanders cut it down to 1-goal lead deficit right now. It's 3-2. So
good.
The Islanders trying to make it a series as well. Here's the thing, though. Like, I understand that the Jets, hey, make a trade with a team. They could still secure their pick. Why not keep on doing that? Like if the Vikings are not going to make a trade or not going to pick Bowers or an offensive lineman, seems like they're going to go J.J. McCarthy, which is, again, the same philosophy that you have with – I mean, I don't know if Sam Darnold's getting the first week start in Minnesota, but he could. And if you get J.J. McCarthy to back, I'm confused by that. But regardless,
they wanted a quarterback. They know Sam Darnold isn't it for the future. They wanted a quarterback. They like J.J. McCarthy. They feel like they get – remember, the Broncos, the Raiders, all teams that are quarterback hungry, the Vikings had to make sure that they get one because the Jets were sitting in a prime spot for any of those teams. I'd be curious to see what the return is, and if you hear it, Hoff, let me know.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay off of social media because I think I'm behind right now, but let me see.
Yeah, me too. I don't want the picks to get ruined.
Vikings. Let's see. But the whole thing is like, hey, Jets should – okay, Vikings no. But that's not it.
I wonder what the price is to move up one spot. There should be a
trade terms. Viking trade number 11 overall, a 4th-round pick, and a 5th-round pick in exchange for number 10 and pick number 203. So they gave 3 picks for 2.
Okay, a 4th round and a 5th round pick. That's fine. They could add some depth there. I like that. But for trading back 1 pick, it's great. You get something for nothing, essentially. I mean, the Jets didn't give up anything. They weren't going to get they're going to get the player they wanted anyway at 11 that they would have gotten at 10 because McCarthy.
I would try to trade back again.
Huh?
I'd try to trade back again. Keep on going. If it's between offensive line and tight end, you're going to get one of those 2 guys anyway, right?
Right. The problem is that the quarterback is not going to be there that other teams will want to trade up for. So I'm not sure how desirable that pick is going to be now at this point. What are you doing?
My kid is coming down and telling me all the dirty secrets.
Don't they know that you're live?
Well, I just told him that right now. He doesn't know. He was in his own world. That's why he was screaming and yelling before like a lunatic.
Because the Jets traded back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to recover from the Penix thing. It's incredible.
By the way, he thought that the Buffalo Bills were getting Rome Odunze. He was ecstatic when he saw that he dropped eventually he went to who? He went to the Bears, right?
The Bears at 9, yeah. I know Jet fans were upset. Some Jet fans I was talking about were upset at that.
I mean, I didn't think they were going to get. I didn't think they were going to get Dunze. I mean, I do believe though that the Jets do need another offensive weapon that's not a tight end. I believe they need another wide receiver because Mike Williams is not healthy. He might not start week 1. And I'm sorry, besides Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, that's really it. You're banking on the fact that Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. But guess what? He's 50 years old.
Look, here's the other point with Rodgers. He's part of the appeal of having a great quarterback is that he is supposed to make other players better. And I think he will do that. But you don't need to just go out there and get old. Like, I love how everybody gets caught up in the fantasy world. Giants just did it with Neighbors. I hate that pick. I'm on record as saying that. And look, we were talking about them trading up late in the first round and getting Penix. Well, that's off the board now. So unless it's Bo Nix, the Giants are going to be out of it as far as the quarterback goes. Which means whatever. I mean, he's supposed to be the next best guy, right? Which means it's Daniel Jones. It's the Daniel Jones show again. The Giants aren't going to get a quarterback. It's ridiculous.
Maybe the Vikings won't go J.J. McCarthy. Maybe that'll be the.
No, of course you know that they're going McCarthy here. And by the way, I'm done after this for the night. If you want to react live to the Knicks, you could. I can't. I might want to do it, especially if it's a close game, especially if Embiid's continuing being dirty. Yeah, well, what a weird first half that was. First quarter specifically. So what do you think the Jets do here? I mean, I want them to go lineman. They could still take a good lineman here. Obviously, Minnesota goes McCarthy, so that's over with. We know that that's the case. Viking. See, think about all the I got, you know what, for a second here while we're waiting for the Jets to be on the clock. Think of all the bullshit that we have heard for the last few months and weeks about these mock drafts and who's going where, to the point where McCarthy was talking. That's where it started to go off the rails. McCarthy was talked about as a potential number 2 pick to Washington. Then there were talks about the Giants or Vikings aggressively trying to trade up to number 4 to get him. All bullshit. Same thing with the Chargers. Nobody really knew what they were going to do. Were they going to trade out? Were they going to take a lineman? Were they going to take a wide receiver? People didn't know what the hell they're talking about. Even those that think they do and that are informed, they still don't know. It's ridiculous. And nobody on record. Balding was the only one that I saw that said Atlanta might be looking quarterback. And the reason why he could say that and say it with confidence is because there was no thought that anybody would trade up to get Penix. So Atlanta was smart enough to know that at number 8, if he's here, we're taking him. And all signs pointed to him being there, and they took him. And that screwed the Raiders, it screwed the Broncos, and obviously the Vikings panicked a little bit knowing that they wanted to get their guy McCarthy and make sure they trade up with the Jets to go get him. So now they get him. But think about all the bullcrap that we thought McCarthy, or that they said that McCarthy was going to potentially go number 4 or 5. You're going to have to trade up, or certainly 6. He's not going to get past the Giants at 6. And here we are, the Vikings trade up with the Jets to get him at number 10. The Jets pick is in. What do you think here, Hoff? They go tight end or lineman?
They're going to go tight end, but I want them to go lineman. I think this is going to be another Kyle Brady mistake, and that's just going to kill me.
It is. It's typical. It's typical Jets.
I quit.
Yeah, exactly. This will be a typical Jets pick, a reach for a tight end that isn't even that skilled. I mean, he's fine for a tight end, but you look at where the Chiefs got Kelsey, the 63rd pick. You look at where George Kittle was drafted, just to give a few. I understand that there's
Gronkowski, dude.
Yeah.
You go through Mark Andrews, you go through the best. They've maybe second round tops.
Similar with running backs, where you can find those guys and get good value late. By the way, I hated the Kyle Pitts pick. I stand by that. And he is far superior as far as athleticism and talent goes. He's 3 inches taller, and he's faster than Brock Bowers. He plays like a wide receiver. There's appeal there because he's a unicorn at a tight end spot. Brock Bowers looks like another tight end. And to me, a slower one at that, like just an average tight end. Yeah, he breaks some tackles at the collegiate level. I don't give a crap what he does in the SEC, although I know that the SEC is the greatest conference in college football. It doesn't matter. You're playing against guys who aren't going to be in the NFL when you're breaking tackles in the secondary against, Southern UCF or whatever it may be. Knicks, the Sixers starting to pull away here. Well, it's a 5-point game, but still. I'm not even locked into this game the way that I should be here because I'm worried about this draft stuff. Oh, my buddy Gelman's on TV. One of my producers at SNY is a diehard Sixers fan. He's got season tickets, and he must be sitting right behind Nick Nurse. I just saw him.
Oh. You know who else I saw at the Sixers game? M. Night Shyamalan.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. The guy that created Signs and what other movies did he do?
I don't know.
A lot of horror movies. You know him.
No, I mean I've heard of the name, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Okay, Gelman. That is funny. We have a bet on this series too, by the way. He's going to owe me a bottle of something after the Knicks win this series.
Look at you, just rolling in the alcohol.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to give it away anyway.
Oh,
The only thing that I keep is the surf set. All right, here we go with the Jets pick. Let's react. Pick is in. I want it to be offensive lineman. You know what? I'm going to have faith and say that it is an offensive lineman. Jets are going to do the smart thing for once, the right thing.
They're idiots. They're idiots, Sal.
Take O-line. Here we go.
They're stupid.
With the 11th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Olu Fashanu.
Yeah, baby! Yeah! Yes!
Let's go!
Yes! That's how you do it. Great move by Joe Douglas.
Woo!
That's how you do it. Now, the Aaron Rodgers influence, I would guarantee you Aaron Rodgers, see, good for the Jets and good for me having faith in the Jets doing the right thing. It's not the sexy pick. It's the right pick. That's how you build a team. Good for you, Joe Douglas. Good for the Jets. Maybe this is a sign of things to come here, Hop, a change in fortunes. Great pick. I know Jet fans are going to be upset. They wanted the sexy pick, the tight end, and the fantasy football. No, this is the right move. Get a guy you can plug in on the offensive line and don't worry about him. Love it. Look at it, big boy.
Listen, and here's the thing. Mekhi Becton was a screw up. They never were able to fix that. Now you got somebody that you can replace Mekhi Becton, and to go with all these other often injured offensive linemen that may be studs this year, but when they get hurt, you need to be able to fill in that hole.
I was worried all day that the Jets were going to fall into that trap and take the tight end. Worried all day. And then it just hit me. You know what? Believe in this team for a second. Believe that they're going to do the right thing. And Joe Douglas did. It made me, outside of the head coach, it showed me that Joe Douglas knows what he's doing. By the way, the Sixers up 10 years. This one's starting to get away from the Knicks.
Well, maybe there'll be a brawl. I mean, B's been so dirty, man. We do it the other way.
This is a great pick. This is a great sign. Now they can go try to get another skilled player, as you said, Hoff, later in the draft here. So not only did the Jets solidify their offensive line, not only did they get protection for Aaron Rodgers, and also I was going to say before, and I did bring this up actually on the show today, how much of an impact Rodgers would have on their pick, and that Rodgers would prefer offensive line over tight end. This is a great pick for the New York Jets. A great day. He will be here, Fashanu, however you say his name, he'll be here long after Aaron Rodgers is gone, and he will be an asset to the franchise and to whoever the next quarterback is, much more so than a tight end would have been. The only downside to this is that now BT and I don't get to see Bust Bowers play out in New York.
We're going to keep an eye on him, though, all season long.
Yeah.
And when he's terrible, we'll be able to, actually, he'll probably break all the records as a tight end in the first year.
You're right. We will keep an eye on him. Josh Hart, by the way, hit 2 big threes here, showing some stack. Knicks up 5, 3 minutes to go in the third. All right. Are we done for the night, or you want to come back on after the Knicks?
I'm coming on after the Knicks no matter what, especially if this is a tight game. Dude, it's going to come down to the wire. I'm going to be locked in.
Oh. All right.
You can do whatever you want, dude. Listen, you're an adult. You're a man. You can do what you want.
Don't forget to download, rate, subscribe, wherever you get your podcast. Also, hit us up, WFANdaily@gmail.com, and we'll answer your comments and questions on an upcoming mailbag episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Not happy with the Giants pick. Love the Jets pick. Finally, a smart move. See you later.